the drums are going, and they coming in, they marching in, and you see these gorilla men walking in out the beard game. We're recording. Hi. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Lyf Poetry. I am Poetry, and this is
Tina. Hello.
Did you say Beto?
No.
Just...
I said my name, but I think like my spit bubbled up at the time when I put the K, so it's just kind of weird. Y'all know who I am.
Kina.
Y'all know who I am.
You are here for Black Panther movie review, maybe recap. We ain't sure, so there may be spoilers. But if you ain't seen the damn movie by now,
no, we're not gonna spoil the people.
They should have seen this damn movie by now. We done seen it 3 times.
That's our fault.
If you ain't seen this movie by now, then log the fuck off. Go to the theater, then come back on her later, because we might spoil some shit for you. Okay? So, this is the recap and review that you all been waiting on. And now that we're getting ready to sit down and do it, I don't even know how to start.
I never freeze.
I never freeze. So, let me tell y'all. The first day we went to go see Black Panther was that opening night.
Woo-woo.
Kina had on her Wakanda face paint. I had on my African colors because it wasn't really a dashiki and it wasn't really African print. I don't even know what kind of print's on that dress. It's like flowers and shit. Yeah. But had my African colors, that red, black, and gold. This is black people colors, you know. Red, black, and green with a hint of gold. Yeah. And then the second time we went was on President's Day. We decided to spend it with the King of Wakanda. You know. And we had on all black.
I always have on all black, but it was special for that day, you know. And
then the last day we just went as us.
Yeah, because you was upset.
I was pissed off, so I had to go to Wakanda, you know, go visit my peoples, let them settle me down, bring me on back. All right, so we start off in Wakanda, getting the history of how all the tribes came under the guidance of the goddess Black Panther, and how I don't even know what their tribe was called. What was T'Challa's tribe? Because I know Nakia's tribe, which was Lupita Nyong'o, they were the water people. Then you had the Earth Bearers. You had M'Baku's tribe, that was the gorilla Jabari. Yeah,
that's the only one I really remember.
Dog, I forgot the name of the general's tribe. I just had it in my head. Everybody had, but I don't know what T'Challa.
I don't know the name of their tribes, but I know the leaders. I know them. Wasabi. Is his name
Wakabi? Wakabi. I was calling him Wasabi the whole time. Wakabi, you know, he made it out of Get Out. He came out of the sunken place, made it on over to Wakanda. He still was, you know, I understood him. He wasn't really tripping, but I understood him. I kind of understood where he was going. So, yeah, we start off with those stories and how once the leader of T'Challa's tribe back in the day became the Black Panther in physical form, all the tribes formed under him and let him lead as the king, with the exception of the Jabari tribe. So that's the story that we're getting as everything's going on. And we end up
in Oakland, California,
1992.
Yeah, I know what was going on.
Too Short was bumping. Hey.
Yeah, I know exactly what was going on.
She wasn't even alive.
I sure don't. I sure wasn't. I wasn't even thought of at the time, but y'all know what was going on.
1992. I was just going into the military. I just moved to California.
Oh, wow.
1992. So, like, they out on the court. They shooting for hoops. And what started off, what I thought was a drug transaction. Come to find out it wasn't a drug transaction. But I thought that's what was going down, was that he was doing a drug transaction. And he was, like, finna, like, hit somebody with, you know, with the weapons and stuff. So, but we start off in there. There's this young man. Turns out to be Sterling K. Brown. And his homeboy,
Uncle James. They
getting together this little heist that they about to put together.
He said, we gonna go around the corner and you gonna pop up right here and I'm gonna leave the car over here, and then you got quiet.
Right.
Like, knock on the straps. Hide the straps real quick.
Knock on the door.
Uncle James like, is this the cops? He's like, no. you know, you hear the knock, and Uncle James go to the door, and he was like, hey, it's these two Grace Jones looking chicks. And
Sean J.
Yeah, and he was like, let them in. He was like, you sure? He said, they ain't gonna knock again. You know, you let them in, and then you see it's two people from the Wakandan tribe. So you're like,
moisturize, sorry.
You're like, what's going on in the club? What's happening?
Right.
And they like, who are you? Prince and Jobu. You know, I was like, okay, another Prince. What's up? Hey, what's happening?
You know, he pulled out and got a little lip tattoo. Like, oh, here's the Prince. Right. You want a lip tattoo?
Nah, I just want
the Wakanda?
Yeah.
Some dude did it. Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
He look a mess.
Oh.
He look a mess. Oh my goodness. I think somebody spelled the Wakanda wrong too on his lip. He's stuck with that for life. So yeah, they know they come through and they're like, you know, okay, the Prince come in. And so once they identify he was the Prince, they, you know, they hit their stance down. Doo, doo. Lights come up. Lights come on. T'Chaka.
Yes.
Standing there looking all grand.
Yes.
Says, brother, how you doing? So I told you we was gonna do spoilers. He come in and he talking to his brother and I'm
talking about Claw. He and Jobu asked about how it was back home. He was like, you know, we had an attack. Claw, my boy, you know, went in and stole some vibranium and then set off a bomb at the border, which killed some people. You know, Wakabi's tribe is the people at the border.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, all of them gone. Well, not all of them, but the majority of them gone. And Jobu like, so, why are you really here?
I got questions. Because he kept saying, T'Chaka kept on saying, he had to have some inside help. That's the only way he could have gotten to Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and Job was like, so what you here for? You came knock on my door for what? So he was like, so why did you help him steal from your own people? He was like, I did no such thing.
Right, how dare it?
Not I.
Hoops.
What?
Wasn't me.
Right. And so he said, you think you was the only spy that we put into these ranks? First of all, I need to know why Wakanda got spies throughout the world. They didn't want nobody to know that they existed other than being a small forming third world country. But they got spies. But they are not going to attack other countries. They're not going to get involved with humanitarian efforts. So what you need spies all over the world for?
Technically they did get involved. Because if we think about the end of the beginning of the Civil War, T'Chaka was like, I can't remember what he was doing. He was having a speech and something.
He was at the UN.
So I think they was starting to get towards that spot. You know, we got to have spies to check out what these hooligans are doing.
Okay. So if you were not aware, the Black Panther as a character was introduced into our Marvel movie world in the movie Civil War.
If you ain't seen Civil War by now, I don't know what to do.
Right. So you necessarily do not have to watch any other Marvel movie to enjoy Black Panther.
Not at all.
But if you want a full understanding of who Claw is, who his daddy is, what happened, how his daddy ended up dead, and how he, stepped up to try to become the king, who this one person is at the end of the end credits, who these people are, you need to watch Civil War. Matter of fact, the person at the end credits, you need to go all the way back to Captain America.
Yeah, you need to go
and start there to get that storyline and bring it on forward. But Civil War is a good starting point as far as T'Challa goes.
Just watch them all.
Just watch them. My mama loved this so much that she went back and started watching all the Marvel movies. Like she would never watch them when she was over here at our house, but now she's like, I need to see them. Plus she loved Marvel Runaways too. I was trying to get her in on the recap, but I forgot to ask her. So yeah, my bad. I forgot to ask her. I was mad yesterday. So yeah, coming into the light, Uncle James is one of the other spies that T'Chaka had hid into the ranks.
Zuri.
And he's spying on his own doggone brother. Well, I mean, it paid off.
It did.
Because his brother had actually stole the vibranium after all. So, T'Chaka told him that he had come back to Wakanda and stand before everybody, the council, and admit his crimes. And so he goes on like, he tired of sitting back, letting the world just screw over our people, meaning other black peoples of the world. They getting killed by drugs, they getting killed in riots, the police taking them down, all this stuff going down, and we in Wakanda standing back and watching it all happen. So he know that using vibranium could help our people come together and earn a rightful spot in the world.
Right.
Now, I totally understand, because this is like a long age argument that black people themselves have within one another. Like, one person makes it, why you ain't coming back to the hood to help us out?
Yeah.
They even say this between African nations and black people. Like, we were stolen, our ancestors were stolen and brought into America. Why y'all didn't come for us? That's pretty much the mentality that's going on. Like, y'all have all these resources, all these tools. Kind of like on the flip side now, we supposedly have all these resources and all these tools here in America, but why we ain't helping our sisters and brothers in Africa, the ones that are considered third world countries. That's pretty much the mentality of what's going on in this particular scene. Actually, throughout the entire movie, that's the struggle. It's the struggle of our people internally. White people really, even though we had a couple white characters here, really didn't have nothing to do with our storyline.
It was two main white characters.
Yeah, Claw being one, and Agent Ross
being
the second.
Just two. It was some other white people, but they didn't really matter.
They didn't really matter.
Two.
And Claw really mattered in the sense of using your enemies to get what you want. And he did good. And that's basically what he did with Claw. So
go get his SoundCloud link.
I was gonna check to see if there really was a SoundCloud link. It probably is. Like, you would have to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
So from there, they go into T'Challa is now have to go do to the traditional ritual in order to become king, which basically he has to challenge the leader of all the other 4 tribes and see if anyone want to take him on. Otherwise, he rightfully is the new king. So in order for him to do this, he wanted to have his ex-girl, by his side. So he had to go get Nakia.
They were still together. They only broke up because she didn't want to be home. She wanted to help other people. She was
a spy.
So that's the only reason why they broke up.
And it seemed like, just based off of just these 2 characters alone, just based off of Njobu, is that right? Mm-hmm. And Nakia's characters, all the spies, they were both spies. Yeah. All the spies seemed to want to help. Yeah. Everybody outside of Wakanda.
And they had the exact same mindset.
They did. They had the exact same mindset. And it's the people that was in Wakanda that was like, no, it's best to keep. They were like the women, the Amazonian women in Wonder Woman,
but better.
They wanted to keep their community safe. They were hidden. They were thriving under the guise of being a third world country. Yeah. Wonder Woman, they was just hidden all together. You didn't even know they were there.
But like Njobu and he had the same idea. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the reason why Killmonger got lost along the way is because I understand the way he grew up. You grew up as a kid in Oakland. Your daddy dead. Your mama dead, probably from a riot or something. Mm-hmm. And you like, we gotta take these people out. So he had the same motive, like he wanted to do the same thing they did. He just wanted to take people out and take over, like have Wakanda as the top.
He reminded me of 2 different characters. It's this one old school black movie where this guy he infiltrates into the CIA so he can learn all the ways that the government like takes over countries. He can learn all his good killing skills with the same thing as what Killmonger did, and then use those skills to get them back. You got to see this movie. He took them all out. He killed every white person in that doggone movie that trained him how to do what he's supposed to do because, you know, he wanted to help and support his black people. Mm-hmm. Now, the other character that he reminds me of is Eric, the X-Men, Magneto.
Yes.
He had that same mentality for Magneto. It's like, this is us. This is our people. We need to survive. We need to do everything we can by any means necessary.
Like you can tell they had good intentions. Mm-hmm. It was just a certain part didn't really click. They wanted to take other people out, which wasn't a good part, but everything else was like spot on. Like, I agree.
In his way, he was like I said, he did it by any means necessary. He felt like if he got to take down the typical crab barrel ass brothers and sisters that standing in his way of freedom, that he gonna do that. Yeah. That I couldn't even call Killmonger a villain. I could not call him a villain. He was dropping so much knowledge
I could call him a villain because he was savage. He was ruthless.
He was ruthless.
But he had some good points that had me sitting there like, I see where he going. I don't agree, but I see what he means.
But see, like even Harriet Tubman said, you know, this is not a direct quote, but people say that they said this, that if she could free 1,000 slaves, she would have freed 1,000 more slaves. She freed 1,000 slaves, but she could have freed more if they realized that they were slaves. And that's the kind of philosophy going on. And when she talks about helping people, she tried to help people get to freedom. Some people she had to leave behind, and some people she had to kill because they was holding her back. And that's kind of how I felt that he felt. That he said he took out his own people. He took out the government, and he had to take out his own people just to get to his destination. But his thing was so centered on killing T'Challa
because he felt like
he wasn't even trying to go off of his daddy, because he didn't even know his daddy. Well, I guess according to the news, he would knew that his daddy was dead. But other than that, he wasn't looking for Uncle James.
I mean, but like I feel like he wanted to kill T'Challa, but it was mainly because he needed to be the Black Panther. He took
everything he had from him.
Yeah,
and he just talking to T'Challa, he already knew that T'Challa was gonna think like T'Chaka did. Yeah. He was not willing to step outside of Wakanda. Because Killmonger thought like his daddy did. His daddy wanted to help. That's what they were setting up. The heist in the beginning they were setting up was for them to take the weapons and take them out to the war dogs and help the people.
But I don't think his dad was on the same level as Killmonger. Because Killmonger...
No, he had rage. He had rage initiating his moves.
A lot of angriness in that heart.
Man, one of my favorite parts of the movie, when he was in that museum.
I had some lines that he said, I was sitting there like, I don't understand.
When he was sitting there in that museum and he was looking at the artifacts, and the lady was like drinking her little latte, her coffee. And one of the things a lot of people we heard, but people didn't catch the meaning of when he's saying, you so worried about, you know, me and what's going on.
You got all these security.
You got all these securities around watching me.
But you ain't checking what you put in your body.
But you ain't checking what you put in your body. That was like a message. Black people, watch what you putting in your damn body. You know what I'm saying? That's the message right there.
They got all these people watching us, but we ain't checking what we doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everybody on like these drugs.
With your looking ass, always looking.
Mm-hmm. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you're not watching what you put in your body. Like, you can have all the security in the world. You can have all the martial law, all the, you know, how they was down in Ferguson, had all the police down there, but you ain't watching what you putting in your body.
They can kill you from the inside.
Exactly. That's what they can do. Kill you from the inside. But when she asked him, she's like, this is not for sale.
Yeah, he was like, what?
I'm going to take these up off your hands.
Yeah. He was like, not for sale. Did your ancestors think about that when they stole it away from our people? I was like,
well, take them just like your people took them.
That exact face. I was like, okay.
Show you right. That's how I was feeling.
I don't want to spoil everything, so I was skipping ahead.
What we skipping ahead
to my favorite part.
Like I said, when we do recaps and reviews, we may not necessarily go in order of the movie. We're gonna just talk about how we feel and how it comes to us.
And then my favorite part of the movie, you know, they in South Korea, and you know they at the casino, you know, the child and the key, all buddy, Okoye up there with that wig, and Claw like you know, the whole SoundCloud link that they had me dead on the floor. But, you know, Okoye was telling them to stand down, but she did it in the Wakandan language. So the dude was like, hold on, there's something ain't right. That don't sound nothing like a language I know.
Right.
And popped off. Okoye threw that wig, and just yanked it off and just threw it. I was like,
that's what you call snatching edges.
Snatched my edges clean off. And I think my favorite, like the whole movie was beautiful artistically.
Yeah.
But my favorite moment is when she jumped off that ledge and her red dress was just flowing.
Did you see that? That was floating.
That was the most gorgeous moment of the movie, and I felt so powerful seeing it. I'm like, it's so dope. Like, it was so good. Go see the movie, please, so you can understand why I'm about to cry over that scene.
You know, a couple of my favorite scenes was dealing with the Jabari tribe. When T'Challa was about to accept the ranks of being Black Panther, and then all of a sudden you hear the drums are going, and they coming in, they marching in, and you see these gorilla men walking in out the beard gang. big thick brothers.
Okay, so people was mad about M'Baku, right?
Why?
Because the scene where he was like, y'all have y'all technological advances overseen by a child. And if people was mad about that, and I was like, did y'all not hear what he said after that? Who scoffs at tradition?
Right.
It ain't the fact that she is a child. It's just that she don't respect tradition at all, which she don't. She really don't, because she said, what are those? And you know she on the internet too much.
Yeah, because I think you need to, that was symbolic to me as like, I'm just like go back to Ferguson again, when all the new activists were coming on board with the old activists and nobody wanted to listen to anybody. So you had the new breed, which is the new technology, that was disregarding the old breed, which was the old activists. And you couldn't join forces together, but it worked best when you were using both sides, both methods together, the old and the new bridging together. And that's what that kind of put me in mind of. I don't know why I was thinking about a lot of activism.
Yeah, it's a lot of points that hit on, and I was sitting there thinking that reminded me of a situation that happened in real life. Mm-hmm. So,
like, speaking of activism and stuff, a lot of people were upset of the GQ magazine cover that they did with Michael B. Jordan, and it was the British version of it, and they had him dressed in the typical 1960s, 1970s Black Panther garb. Mm-hmm. And the caption was "Black Panther was a revolution" or something like that. And then I think Chadwick Boseman did it as well.
He did a
Rolling Stones, but he still was in that 1970s like vibe for the revolution. And people were saying Black Panther movie is not a revolution. It ain't a revolution. In a way, it is. We may not be going out there fighting against government structures, literally speaking, by watching this movie, but they are so empowering the mind. Mm-hmm. It teaches us as Black people about unifying, regardless of where we come from in the world. Black people are all connected, and that's what Killmonger was saying. Like, all creation started right here on this continent.
All these people, your people.
All these people are our people.
And they both had a point. T'Challa was like, "I'm not the king of the world. I'm king of Wakanda." Like, they both had a point, So it is sparking a movement. It's sparking awareness. It's sparking conversation. It's people was also arguing about the fact, well, this really ain't a Black movie because Marvel still owns it. Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
it's owned by Disney. And okay, this is a predominantly Black cast, which technically speaking in film, it makes it a Black movie. Mm-hmm. It's directed by a Black person. It's produced by a Black person. The wardrobe is done by a Black person. And Stan Lee with Marvel, even though he is a white guy, if you really read Marvel comics, you will really understand how much activism was written into those comic books.
Every single one, including Deadpool.
You don't have to be Black to be an activist. Okay? You don't have to be Black to be an activist. I don't know. You don't have to be a Black person to want Black people to have equal rights. So just because Stan Lee wasn't a Black person who came up with Marvel, that doesn't negate the activism that he has expressed time after time after time after time again with the Marvel characters. Just with the X-Men alone, his characters, Charles and Magneto, was based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, like, just the whole concept and the whole idea was based off of the civil rights movement. So y'all can miss me with that shit that this ain't a Black movie. It is. And then somebody put on their well, is Wakanda gonna give back to Black communities in the movie? I'm like, first of all, y'all already complaining that Wakanda ain't a real place. Now y'all want Wakanda to give back. Wakanda ain't a real fucking place. But in a way, it is. Wakanda is a state of mind. Wakanda forever. It's a state of mind that you can have and you can hold. Man, have you seen how many young Black children were so excited to see a Black hero on the screen? Matter of fact, he wasn't even technically a hero in this movie. It was kings
Mm-hmm.
battling for what's right for their people and the people of the world that is unlike them.
Yeah, I think
Because in all rights, both of them was kings.
that is true. Yeah.
All Wakabi was a king. They just didn't want to challenge for the king of Wakanda, but they were all kings of their own tribe,
yeah.
right? Nubaku was the king of his tribe. Killmonger, basically,
He was king.
he was still rightfully an heir to the throne.
And he was king for a little bit.
Yeah, he was king.
But I think the best part for me, even though I'm not a young child no more, if this movie would have came out when I was younger, when I wanted to be like an engineer, and I was like 15 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
And I would have seen Shuri, because Shuri is 16, and she doing all this stuff for her. She powered her whole city.
Yep.
Smartest person in this whole movie. She's smarter than Tony Stark.
Yeah.
If I would have seen that when I was younger, I would have been like, oh, that's dope. I could do that. Like, I could be Shuri. So I think that's like a really positive message for these kids out here. You know, they seeing this 16-year-old girl, she got it all. Like,
The revolution starts in the mind. The revolution starts right here. And like they are like setting up our children to be proud of being quote unquote nerds and geeks and messing around with technology and science and medicine. I just think that
her gang.
Man, she did so much stuff. Like all the gravitational pulls with the doggone train.
Sonic stabilizers.
Man, she was gangster with it.
Like
I want
that,
one of them damn cars.
That was so dope.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And the fact that the women in this tribe were so powerful.
Okoye.
That was the one problem that I would say I had with Killmonger the most, is that he really had no respect for the women of Wakanda at all.
Mm-mm.
Like the flower bearers, the ones who were keeping the purple hearts together. When she was trying to explain to him that we have to keep this together for a new king.
He
like a new king.
He's like,
what?
yeet? No.
He picked her up by her neck and was like, look, when I tell you to do something, you do it. He was about to get at Shuri with no issue. Like, I ain't little sis. I'm about to get you. You know.
And that was the only problem, but I don't think I had a problem, but it wasn't like a huge problem because I don't know. I didn't understand, but
I didn't understand why he didn't understand that you cannot be the last Black Panther because it doesn't give you eternal life.
It don't.
It don't give you eternal life. So if something should happen to you, there would be nobody else left.
I think that's why.
To run Wakanda.
That's why.
Why would he want that though?
Because he want them. Well, he want Wakanda to be on top, right?
Right.
But he don't want anybody else to be Black Panther because he feels like if one person has all that power, it's just too much.
Oh.
Everybody needs to be sort of equal in the same way. So if
everybody
one person got Black
piece
Panther,
of the pie.
yeah,
if
one person got the power, then maybe we should all have the power, but they didn't have enough flowers for all that. So might as well burn them. Because remember,
I get you. I understand
he was
better
like,
now.
you destabilize countries and take over, and it was just.
I get it now.
I see where he came from.
Yeah.
He
was dropping so much black knowledge up in this joint.
That last line that he gave. Not the child. Ooh, it's the big old spoiler right here. Oh boy. So you know what? I'm just gonna say it.
This line was all over the Tweeters world, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Snappy Chatties, the Facebookies, the Pinterest, the Tumblrs.
It is the best line in this whole movie.
When he was about to die, and T'Challa said, I think we can still save you.
We can still save you because they really can.
They could.
And
he said, no, why? So you can keep me in bondage? I mean, what else? What you ain't gonna let him roam around free?
Yeah.
You know. So he's like,
he was like, I don't want to be locked up. I don't want to be in bondage. Just throw me in the ocean where all my ancestors jumped from the ships because they knew that bondage. Okay, the death
was better than bondage.
Death was better than bondage. There we go. And I sat there, tears down my eyes. I was flowing, and I was talking to about this to me and another friend. Like, me and 2 other people was talking about the scene. And me and her, we was mad because, first off, we really didn't want Killmonger to die. I loved him. And I felt like T'Challa would have not put him in jail. But since he would have had to stand trial, nobody else was going to have that. Because if you see, like, everybody else, people changed. People changed over time. And I feel like he could have been reformed to understand a better way to go about it. But, you know, he didn't really want to because he thought he already knew everybody else in Wakanda was going to have him locked up. But seeing that from a black point of view, it hurt. It hurt me so bad because I understood. And I was like,
especially if you've seen movies like Roots, 12 Years a Slave, Amistad,
woo,
and you've seen the journeys that we as a people were taken from Africa and brought to the West Indies and to the Americas, and how long that journey was, and people jumped off the ships with their babies in their arms, you know, because they would rather die free than live in bondage. And that's basically all he was saying. And he took that knife and finished himself. Because he was like, you know, if I'm gonna die by my own way, my own right, my own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was such a moving moment.
If you know the comics, then you know that Killmonger can be brought back still. Mm. So,
it's a possibility. They already planning the sequel. Thank God. Yeah, they already planning the sequel. But like, it was so much like with that moment there, and when T'Challa was, oh my God, I forgot what I was gonna say. He was talking about that moment and coming back. I was gonna talk about M'Baku and what they were talking about. He was trying to get everybody together.
When he asked M'Baku to do, I need an army.
Yeah, it was around that scene, but I can't remember exactly what I was going to say. It was right on the tip of my tongue because it was tied right in with the Killmonger scene. Oh, what my phone on? Let me stop this and I'm going to keep going. Hold on.
Another line that hit with me was on M'Baku. When they was at his place, you know, T'Challa. I'm not going to spoil that. T'Challa was there. And M'Baku was like, you are the first king in generations to come here and talk about us. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there like, they y'all people, y'all just cast them aside. So I was proud at the moment that T'Challa was there, like he considered them to be one of them,
but he only considered them because of Killmonger.
He needed help.
He needed help. And if he didn't need help, the Jabari tribe would be still sitting up there in the cold, wintry snow, separate from the rest of Wakanda.
And I think
living off traditional methods.
T'Challa was like, you know, I need an army. And M'Baku was like, I'm pretty sure you do, but no. And I figured this out after seeing it 3 times. He was like, you know, we will not help you. Mm-hmm. We will not help T'Challa, but we will help Wakanda as a whole. Yeah. And when he, you know, went to help T'Challa, if you look at the end, the one scene, you know, you see he on the council now.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you who off. But M'Baku was in the council, and I mean, if you've seen the trailer for the next Avengers movie, M'Baku is in the back. I think he's next to
He's part of the council now. Yeah.
I think he's next to Okoye. I'm not sure where he had in the scene. I just know you could see him clearly. So he a part of.
And dear people, he was not barking. He was not barking. When Agent Ross started to speak, it was not barking. That was the sound that gorillas make when they are showing aggressive to put their enemies in check. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that was one of the best lines ever. He told him he can't speak. He shut the hell up and he gonna
feed you to my children. And they was all like, he's like, just kidding, we are vegetarians. I was dead in that movie theater.
Because you know, white gorillas are vegetarians. Mm-hmm. I mean, like,
he was laughing so hard at his own joke. I was like, that's so cute.
That was so cute.
This is what I need in a man.
Yes, that was lovely. Oh, I love him. I loved him. I love the fact that he had sense enough, or he would, I ain't gonna say he had sense enough. He had the wisdom enough to know that he should not be leading the Wakanda people. So when they came there for his help, he was like, let me show y'all something.
Yeah, he didn't turn
That's
them
not
away.
for me. He didn't take it himself.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, he didn't turn them away, and he didn't selfishly, because he tried to become king. He could have became king right then. He went against his selfish ways. I don't think he had them anyway.
No.
And chose what was right for the people of Wakanda.
Yeah. This movie was just.
It was so many layers.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it again.
When we going?
I want to go. I can't go this week. I got so much to do this doggone week.
Sunday.
I don't know. Soon we're
going to see it again.
I'm going to see it again.
But go see this movie, please.
Like there was
right now or something.
What am I missing? What am I missing in the movie? Like I said, the women were so powerful. They pretty much was running the tribes, pretty much.
Yeah, they was it was the general.
Wakabi, when they were fighting, the big fight scene, the most relevant moment of the fight scene was when Wakabi was about to go at M'Baku. He was on his rhino. He's rushing full speed ahead with that rhino covered with vibranium is about to take M'Baku out. And Okoye stepped in front of him. Like what? That rhino said, and started saying, Mama. He gave her a little lick on the cheek. And it was like, the rhino was already trained not to harm her, no matter what. And she knew this. Because that was her boo thing. Wakabi was her boo thing. Her hubby. Her love. My love.
Yeah.
I love how they just, my love and my king. I love that. So, the rhino stopped and,
Wakabi hopped off.
Wakabi hopped off, ready to reach for his little, his it wasn't a machete. No. It wasn't a sword. Because it had the hook.
I can't remember what they call the scythe. It's like a mini scythe. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And, okay, like, drop your weapon. And Wakabi was like, would you kill me, my love? And Okoye was like, for Wakanda? Without question. And, Wakabi started looking around and you see all your people fighting each other. And he was like, you know what? He dropped that weapon. And everybody stopped.
And I feel that way about, I love my black men. I love my brothers. But when it comes time for a struggle against a government entity, against the powers, the justice that be, the man, the women step the fuck up for community. Mm-hmm. A lot of time our brothers are going off of what they can get for themselves because Wakabi was basing all of this on his own personal agenda. He was like Killmonger. They were looking at all that they have lost. And he looked at when Claw came in and stole their vibranium, he lost both his parents. He lost a lot that day. And he made T'Challa a promise to bring Claw back or kill him, one of the two. And T'Challa promised him. That's a man's word. That's the bond. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that they have between one another is that bond and that loyalty to each other. And when he came back empty-handed, he lost all faith in T'Challa. And so now the Killmonger show up,
rolled up with the body,
in his head. Now this is where his loyalty is going to go to, because basically both of these people have lost everything, both of their parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because of this vibranium, because of we trying to keep this a secret. Now he agreed. This is another thing that Wakabi and Killmonger had like. He didn't want people to come in. He was a conservative when it came to that matter. We're not going to let them bitches cross the border. We ain't letting no refugees in bring all their disease and famine and all their problems and troubles in here. We ain't going to do that. But if you want me to go out into the world, take our weapons and go out to the world and kill them all, I will do that for you. And that's exactly the mindset that Killmonger was at too. We want to put our weapons into the hands of all our war dogs that we already got placed all over the world and have our people rise up in unity and take back the throne. That's basically what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Take back our rightful place in the world. We always say that we kings and queens all the time. Everybody can't be a king and queen, y'all. I'm just let y'all know that somebody got to be the peasant. Everybody king and queen. Somebody got to be the ruler. Everybody. So, just let's get that straight. But I like the fact that we could know that we can be kings or queens. So, yeah. Is there anything that we want to touch on that anything else that we missing?
Go see the movie.
Go see the movie.
Because anything else our topic on it is going to spoil a lot. So go see the movie.
Yeah, first time I went for strictly entertainment purposes because I thought it was going to be super crowded. I thought it was going to be super loud. It was more white people in the theater than there was black people. I was very shocked. Had a lot of schools in there.
Oh. One very important line before we end this.
Mm-hmm.
Colonizer. That's it. I'm not even going to give you no context. Just colonizer. That's it. Go see the movie so you can understand.
And I remember I asked the question, why did Killmonger use that term as well as Shuri?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was because of his father.
Yeah.
Because he had that mindset about that.
Yeah, so
go see the movie. Sit all the way
to the end.
If the lights come on, sit all the way to the last
move.
credits stop running. So that way you'll get the extra scenes at the end.
2 scenes at the end, too.
I know there was going to be a lot more that we wanted to cover.
See, them the kids I be talking about, screaming out there like they getting murdered. One of these days it's going to happen for real, and I don't know. I'm not going to know the difference. They kids. There's kids running up and down the street.
Well, have fun. In the streets of Wakanda.
This is not Wakanda. Oh boy, this is the very opposite of Wakanda over here.
So yeah, go see the movie. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments section. If there was anything that you think we missed, because we didn't go through the whole movie. If there's anything you think we missed, drop it in the comment section. If you want us to clarify on anything, drop it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all for coming back. Peace.